Today I want to talk about death and how it can actually have a positive effect on your life. Let's check it out. Welcome back. Hi, Daz here. Gotta say this, subscribe. Thank you if you have subscribed, I appreciate it. I'm a little bit low energy because I'm absolutely shattered. Went to bed late last night and got to get up early this morning, and unfortunately had to go to a funeral today, which wasn't the best. I mean, funerals are never obviously a fun thing to go to, but yeah, I mean, they are quite sort of emotional, quite a sad, quite a bit thing. That's why I decided today to talk about death and actually the effects and the positive effects it can actually have on you, because I don't think it's necessarily just a sad and sort of a mourning type thing, but you can take some degree of positivity from it, even though it may not necessarily seem that way. I'll use a PewDiePie. Let's get into it. Death, it's one thing that's guaranteed. I've spoken about this before. We're all going to die at some point, but when it does happen to someone who's close to you and someone who's family member, it's kind of it's difficult, it's hard, and there's no kind of right time for it to happen, and it's the people behind who kind of grieve and sort of suffer from that. So I don't in any way want to kind of make light of any kind of any mourning or any situations that people are in, but it's something that I was reflecting on today. I think it's good and certainly healthy that when you are at a funeral and you're kind of presented with generally the eulogy, which sort of gives a kind of history of the person. It's good to kind of reflect on the kind of happy times that you had with that person, or the funny things you remember about them and funny sayings and things they did, because it's important. It's a sad occasion, but I think it's important to remember the good bits, remember the happy bits, because they're the things that you'll take forward as your memories. Whilst reflecting, I was sort of thinking, well, what can I take from this in a sort of a positive aspect? What kind of sprung to mind immediately was, and I've mentioned about this many times, but how important it is really to kind of embrace the day, embrace now, because we are all here for a finite amount of time, and there's really no point in just around time-wise, and if you did want to get something done and you just keep putting it off, or it's just why waste time? And I think when you go to a funeral, it's kind of pretty much there's the big kind of almost like the elephant in the room, so it's highlighting the fact that this does actually happen, and can and will happen to you, me, everyone. If you do want to do something in your life, with your life, and leave some sort of legacy for your children, for your family, then what better time than now to do it? And along with that, it was also the last sort of couple of days, things sort of come to me, probably from inspiration as I've been having the last few weeks, but also I think I'm just going to tweak a few things going forward with regard to my kind of, I suppose, business side, and which I haven't really been developing as fast as I'd like, and I think I probably put that down to the fact that maybe something wasn't quite gelling. I always say it's important to do what you love and kind of just concentrate on that, and when you are doing what you're passionate about, it naturally just flows, and things that perhaps you thought were right for you might fall by the wayside because you're just on your passion. And I think I've almost come to the conclusion over the last couple of days that I can see how there's almost like a sort of a natural direction for me. And in doing these daily vlogs now, was it episode 161 or 2? Can't remember. That's quite a lot. Pretty much every single day. There's been a couple of days where I haven't been able to do it, but pretty much every single day. And that kind of message that I like to bring, or you could say preach. I don't like preach, but it is what tell it how it is. But that kind of, I suppose, I don't want to say motivating, because I don't believe you can motivate people to do something. They either want to do it or don't want to do it. You can't motivate them. But I think inspire, that's hopefully inspiring words, and I've had some positive feedback, and that kind of message is what I sort of love, and that's what I love to do. And so I'm kind of rejig a few things, and hopefully then the business side will sort of start to come together naturally around that, because I think there's been maybe a bit of a mismatch. I don't know, but something wasn't quite gelling and something didn't feel right. But with this now new thoughts, it's sort of it's part of the whole kind of idea of letting go and not forcing things, like I was talking yesterday, just sort of going with it and almost sort of seeing how it pans out on its own, rather than trying to force it in a particular direction, which is what I said yesterday. It's a difficult one, because when you think of a business, you can't just sort of just let it meander off on its own. You have to kind of control it. But I believe that it's important to do something you're passionate about, and therefore kind of you've got to let it to sort of run by itself a bit and find its own feet. And once it starts to do that, then you can kind of put some structure around it and, you know, sort of build it out that way. But I think if you start to put the structure around it before it's found its feet, then you start to sort of go down a road that's perhaps not working for you, or isn't right, or you're not passionate about, and you end up, after maybe investing time and money into that, it's not right. Then it's harder to then back out of it and go down a different route. I think by sort of letting things naturally flow, albeit, to be fair, sort of accidentally, I'd like to think I've consciously gone, okay, let's just see how it goes, but it's more kind of happened inadvertently. I think I've sort of seen where it's naturally falling, and I think we, you know, with any particularly YouTube channels, I think it's a lot of people sort of say, you know,
well, what niche should I kind of go in, and, you know, what should I do, and
stuff like that. But I think it's important to do what you love doing. Just do what you love doing, and it will naturally, good motorbikes, it will naturally kind of find its own ground and level out to what works for you and your audience and where it needs to be, rather than going, right, I'm going to do specifically on this one thing, because you're already, you know, really sort of constricting yourself down a particular road where that may not be the best thing that you could do for the world, or for your audience, or for you even. That's a long-winded way of sort of saying that I think I'm in a much clearer place now, and some of that's, you know, certainly to do with just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and some of it is to do with, you know, the inspiration from old Gemma Stone. That's all I've got for today. I am absolutely shattered, so up relatively early, out to my mum's house, pick her up, over to the funeral to the wake back to her house, made a ton of sausage rolls for work tomorrow, and then back here, then to record this, to edit this. So it's quite a long day. It's quite a tiring, a lot to drive in, and also it's been ridiculously hot. It's been, I think, 27, 28 degrees here, which perhaps for people who are in a hot country isn't that hot, but this is the UK. Also, it's been ridiculously humid today, really humid, which also tires you out. I'm really ridiculously thirsty, so which also tires you out. So yeah, I'm sort of going just neck in water, and I'm now going to sort of edit this, and hopefully you kind of get some value from it. If you do and you like it, don't forget to smash that like button so it's nice and blue. And thank you so much for tuning in, following me on this journey of kind of, some of it self-discovery, some of it not, and, you know, adding a bit of mac and cheese randomly, but also I like to sort of share this stuff and put in some funny things and kind of make it a bit light-hearted, and make, you know, hopefully you can enjoy your life as much as I am literally enjoying my life at the moment. So again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here, and check out my other video down here. And remember, live your best life and profit from that passion. See you next time. Bye-bye.